Good morning, everybody. And it's a pleasure to be here. And I'd like to talk to you about how we're finally bringing underwriting into the digital age. So I heard somebody say, wow, isn't it great, digital and underwriting in the same sentence? All right? So that's what we're all about. I said I'm going to talk about how we're bringing underwriting, especially commercial underwriting, into the digital age. So as you know, commercial underwriting is all about writing big risks. We are on large exposures. But the way we are underwriting has not really changed for decades, for ages, right? I mean, brokers are still collecting the same old information they've collected 30, 40 years back in the US on a typical Accord form. And the same information is being passed on to multiple insurance companies. And we really don't know what's going on in the risk in recent times. If you look at the spend in the industry, we as an industry have spent billions and billions of dollars on IT. Yet underwriting effectiveness, loss ratios, the ultimate measure, have not moved. Now, they move up because of pricing and catastrophes, but we really have not improved the quality of underwriting ever. So let me ask you this question. If you were going to underwrite a big risk, let's say a commercial company, and you knew that the directors and officers of that company had a fraudulent history or their previous venture was, had gone down in bankruptcy. If, for example, employees were complaining of unsafe work practices and you were going to write a large workers' comp risk, or there were complaints about the safety or the use of the company's products, patrons at a restaurant were complaining of falling sick after eating food there, would you write those risks? Or how would you change the rate? If a trucking company, for instance, was quite often carrying dangerous cargo, how would you write that risk, right? These are things which are very material to the outcome. I think any seasoned underwriter will tell you moral hazard is a big driver of propensity of claims. Yet, we don't have any information in a typical underwriting process on those sorts of things. So what we're about to show you is how we're bringing underwriting in the digital age. And what we're trying to do here with the risk analyst is bring everything that an underwriter should know about a policy onto one page. One page. No matter how complex the risk, on one page. And how do we do that? We've built a platform which is based on big data, deep web search, NLP, natural language processing, and artificial intelligence. So what it does is it goes out, finds everything that the underwriter should know, runs its AI algorithm, and our software understands what are the risk indicators for each line of business. For workers' comp, property, liability, it understands what's a good risk versus a bad risk. And it brings all the alerts to the underwriter's attention. It's AI-based, so it improves over time. We can implement carrier-specific rules into the system. So every underwriter or every company can tweak what is an acceptable risk or not in the platform. And it's very, very easy to use. Single field search. It's available in minutes. You can go onto the cloud, configure your own instance, and you're up and running in minutes. So let me show you how it works. This is the one-page report. This is a summary page of Risk Analyst for a commercial company. As you see on the top, you have very high-level financials or very high-level picture and a composite risk score for the line of business you're writing, which says this is how good or how bad this risk is. Below, you'll see a panel of about 10 to 12 different items. And these are configurable for each line of business or each carrier. And you can adjust them as you like. So for example, here you'll see across all of these parameters a single risk score. So for example, performance is the internal performance of the risk. If you've held this risk previously in the company, you'll see the alerts there. The card below that is for properties. It'll show you the composite risk score if you're writing a property risk, and it'll show you whether it's red, yellow, or green based on things like exposure to hazards, flood, neighborhood, terrain, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever you try to do this. So let me take you through a live demo of the system. It's really easy to run. This is the landing page a typical underwriter would have. And if you click on Build a Report, you will see that all you need to do is enter the name of the company, and it's Google search, or Google-esque search, rather I should say. It automatically retrieves the full address, the type of business that the company is running, right? It gets you to the page which says, if you want to enter a person, for example, a director or an officer, and it'll bring everything for that company. So that's how easy it is to actually generate a report. So once you generate a report, that would be the bottom part of the front page I showed you. So for example, let's look at the organization. So one of the first things that anybody wants to see is, well, what's going on in this company? What is this company all about? Here you'll see very quickly, it's going to show you, for example, all the associations. It's going to show you the basic data of the company. It's going to show you all the corporate records, right? Incorporation, licenses, details, locations, all of those sort of things. It's going to show you the industry. And this is very interesting. Single field search, if it is a holding company or a multi-business unit company, it will bring out all the listed entities, all the related companies of that. It will show you competition, and it will also show you if that company is put on any blacklists, do not trade list, sanctions list, etc. And this is all done automatically. Similarly, if you look at financials, it automatically pulls up the financials of the company and will tell you if there's anything that the underwriter needs to be worried about. It pulls information from various sources like DNB, Exignite, Experian, and so on. And what is interesting is, for smaller companies, it will also give you the most trusted score. So for example, if there's a material change in the financials of the company, or if there's a mismatch between what the website is saying and what the legal filing is, it will flag those things to you. This is very interesting. This is, oops, when it comes up. This is the people aspect. Now, we have not entered anything. It has automatically pulled all the directors, officers, key operators of that company. Sorry, it's gone back. My apologies. It will automatically pull out all the people that are involved in the business, that are material to that business, and it will show you if there's anything suspicious or anything negative in their past trading history, in their past career records for those people. And this is all automatic. I've not entered a single name into that search field, right? It will, for example, go in and see if there's any suspicious or any legal things, for example, in their past. It will show you, if you see here, it will show you, their career history. Just moving forward, the same thing happens for web contents. So we're doing a deep web search. We're finding out, for example, on this page, everything that you need to know on the left-hand side, if there are issues, positive or negative, to do with criminal, financial, reputational, or safety issues from unstructured data sources. Very quickly, in the interest of time, I'm going to show you some property screens. So this is the way it would retrieve property risk. It will show you, without entering any information, it will show you if the company has 20, 30, 50 locations. It will automatically load all of those locations. And on the right-hand side, you'll see it will show you all the alerts from a property perspective. This is a more detailed screen where this will automatically pull information on terrain, neighborhood, flood, wind, all of those kinds of things automatically. I'm sorry, I'm running at a million miles an hour. Just quickly show you various details. This is a similar example of legal filings. This is very, very important for a typical commercial enterprise. Again, you can sort and filter based on reputational issues, safety issues, criminal issues. It pulls all the detailed records, whether they're from Department of Justice, other courts, from press, so on and so forth. This is a very quick look at workers' compensation. It will pull out safety records from violations, from inspections, and it will tell you if there's anything suspicious or anything which is likely to cause workers' comp claims in the future. So in summary, this is the power of the platform. As I said, single field search, everything you want to know on a single page for a large complex risk. We offer this service for various outcomes for a commercial insurer. We can pre-fill application forms, so the underwriter doesn't have to go through heaps of data. This UI that you just saw is designed for case underwriting, manual underwriting. But we can also run it as an automated service, behind the scenes for either portfolio analysis. Now, that could be for reinsurance or could be for a commercial carrier. We can also do this for renewal processing.